Brendan is MOLTH.
I think
Nice.
you froze right away when you went live.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
It was beautiful.
I was watching it on stream.
I love it. Hey everyone, welcome to Oli Doesn't Get to Have Nice Things, the show. Ha ha ha. How you doing? Never get no respect around here. That's a question. How you doing?
You know.
I'm doing great.
I've wanted to have an NPC with that voice for quite a while. This is as close as I can go because I know if I bring in someone and it's like, oh, you want to buy some potions? 50 gold. What do you think? No one's gonna take it seriously. But apparently,
Have you considered 30 gold instead?
get no respect.
See?
Voice
Done.
100%
There you
the
go.
reason why.
We can play into that.
The
character.
bet the bit explains itself. It's hot. I have a fan
Cold.
pointed pretty much directly at my crotch. It's the only way I can have it not be loud. It's not pleasant. It's not. That's the one part of me I want to be warm.
Is it?
By the way, we have no Erin today. She's having a whole adventure of her own that I'm sure we'll hear about next time.
We have
So-
to stay strong.
But I was tempted. That picture is in every screen in case I need it sometimes.
Well, we'll see how things go today.
We'll see how delirious I get.
Yes.
So, why don't we have our own adventure and get this foreplay out of the four-way? You guys pretty much took a quest from a samurai working for the daimyo by the name of Captain Kato to investigate with her the aether crystal drug in the city. And doing some poking around, you found that there was a strip club, which Voss loved.
We need to take him there for his birthday.
There was a whole, a
You've
whole,
never seen Boss off duty.
a whole section of that adventure in the strip club adventures, where they absolutely were selling drugs out of the place, and Yuna, not you, because she's not here. Yuna basically made a deal of like, oh no, we'll pay, but you're gonna bring some aether crystal to our house so that we can kind of be business partners, and that's pretty much where we left
Basically,
off.
We set up a sting, essentially, is what's
Yeah,
happening.
you're literally setting up a sting operation. All you need to do is call the cops, or be the cops, I suppose.
One way or the
I
other.
mean,
Potato.
But I
avocado.
will remind you, because it's something the players will have probably forgotten, but Kato
Definitely.
did request that she's involved in the busts. Now, whether you
Yeah.
actually want to follow that, but when you have a request from a samurai who works for the daimyo,
We're trying to
Your
build a good
characters
relationship.
should
trying to
have
build
remembered
rapport
that.
with these people.
Exactly. She is the
Called
cops.
statecraft.
Yes. So, we're gonna start off the day after. Traveling through the city, you know, doing your daily chores, Rakath buying pins and rope.
I'm actually going to be buying a bit more than that.
We'll get back to that in a moment. The city is noticeably turmoil would be a good word for it. Where any kind of mass congregation would be in markets or by taverns, agents of the daimyo are in the streets, which is very rare as a house who deals specifically with diplomacy. A full movement of the daimyo's forces like this is very strange. Specifically hers, not city military, not anything like that. These are the faceless bluish stone armor. Forces of a Daimao. Not all samurais, there's many foot soldiers, there's many priestesses, but it is clearly her troops who are shaking people down, who are confiscating things. It's giving an edge of tension in the city right now, and people are less than pleased.
For one thing, I would have loaded the elemental overload into my gun overnight, because that's something I can do in a long rest.
Yes?
So that's in there ready for the first shot.
That's the first thing that you think about today. When everybody's sad is, I'm going to shoot something, I'm sure of it.
Honestly,
You never know.
He's not the sort that wouldn't
Yeah, he wouldn't notice that the city's sad.
Yeah.
I
True.
suppose.
Fair point. Fair point.
How long do we have before these people arrive with this crystal?
We
Probably
don't know.
around 12 hours.
Yeah, like I know we didn't set a specific time, but we did set the day, right? So we know.
Yeah, it's today, probably later. Criminal types always operate at night.
I need to find a pearl. So go to Rakath. Actually, he would have gone to Rakath for this.
I need to go shopping as well.
Oh my god. Stop giving us heart attacks, Ollie.
I'm not doing
Very
anything.
large and very in charge.
You can't
not
see.
count.
Ollie just put a giant baby mind flayer token on the map screen.
It was
Coming at-
I
Very
was
long
fixing a shenanigan I did earlier. It was an anti-shenanigan.
yeah.
Doesn't count.
I had the shenanigan off screen, so it just went.
Ah! Peripheral vision.
Yeah, that's the
Lizard
same
brain.
thing for me.
Well, I need to do some shopping to set up for later. So, you may as well come with me. Boss?
Honestly, I probably wouldn't even be in the house right now. Like I know we have shit to do later. I would probably be at the school, like getting stuff. prepared and stuff.
All right.
It's not
well,
long. It's not far away.
It's like
So far.
There's a lot of steps.
It's look. I have to get my.
You gotta
10,000
bear in
steps
mind that your building is a tower with a spiral staircase. So if and the way to Voss's is like down at one end. So it's not like you can take a shortcut on the other side. You gotta go down and around to get to the right off ramp. That's the issue with getting around Narashiro.
I can imagine trying to like take an army. It's just like tap 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 tap. You hear them coming like a mile away.
That's why I can hear Abby coming all the time. Because it's
Yeah.
always dunk dunk dunk. Good times.
Well, we should go get Voss before we do anything.
Okay.
The city seems, depressed.
What? Really?
Yes. It may not be,
He would like look out like the nearest window.
I imagine if you're in the basement, no windows. You
Oh.
look for where a window would be, which I imagine in character, but
There are chains on the wall where you look.
He probably hasn't like he went to Rakath without realizing where he went. And he's like, all right, dungeon.
I like to think of it as a second home. Or a first home for me. We should go get Voss.
Okay.
You go off into the herbalist district, and this is where you can see the foot troops of the Daimao, although there is a samurai kind of lurking, would be in a very military police kind of lurk, in that they are nearby and visible, but you can kind of feel their eyes on the whole street. The foot soldiers, specifically here led by priestesses, are going into most of these herbalist shops and shaking things down. You literally see one of the ones opposite Voss's shop through a glass window, just one of the foot soldiers just doing on the desk, knocking a bunch of things over. Traditional intimidation tactics. Can you guys both give me perception checks, please? Included Voss, because you're across the street. So you might have noticed this.
If this is something I would see, then
Yeah.
I automatically fail because I'm meditating.
Okay.
Is
But
that
it's something-
dice
if it's something
resting
I-
on its edge?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, baby, we got an edge dice.
Not.
You don't see what they're shaking the place for, but other foot troops are leaving the other house.
And assume that they're shaking it down for the Aether Crystal. Could I make
Good
an
assumption.
insight check to actually make that inference, potentially?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's more likely what I'd actually be thinking about, which is 3 better.
It definitely does seem to come as a shock to everyone who's being confronted. It's not always violent. There are some people who are stopped in the streets and there's just sort of a pat down or something.
Literally doing
but
stop and frisk, basically.
Yeah. it's just extremely unprecedented.
Do I have anything bad on my person?
I hope they don't frisk
Yeah,
me.
they're on
and
the
not that
other
I
side.
don't
They're
have
literally
anything
on the other
bad.
side of the street right now, so there's very likely that there'll be people coming to Voss's, the House of Dusk, soon. But you get there
I mean,
first.
I don't have anything bad. I just have a whole bunch of things that are gonna be like, the fuck is this? Ollie. I will say of note, my box is set to the middle setting, the one that doesn't have a name on it.
I don't remember the specific settings of your box. Just tell me if it
Oh,
becomes relevant.
Okay, will do.
Huh.
That's
Okay,
ominous,
well,
but I don't know what you mean.
Some potential bad stuff in my inventory that they might not like me having, but that's okay.
I'm not gonna say there's such a thing as racial profiling, but
There definitely is. It's okay. You don't have to say it. We all know.
Just hide them in Rofi's backpack. It's a mess as it is.
Honestly, if they take the bad things that I have, one of the things that I have is shattered glass that they will pay no attention to, basically, so I'm not too worried about that one. The other one, though, is a sample of Night Lantern. No, I gave that to Erin. That's out of my inventory.
she
It's no
has
problem.
the drugs.
She has the drugs. Everything's fine. I don't have
I mean,
That
that.
I
explains
have
where
a
she is. She's just getting high this week. Erin's like gave me a whole thing of this. Nah, Yuna's just riding the high.
Blaster.
She has to process the amount of man she saw the day before.
Right.
It's that anime thing where she's just down for the count for the next day.
I'm gonna just open the House of Dusk door if it's open. If
So
it's
basically, what the situation is it's like kind of like a courtyard, like a small outdoors thing, and then the main structure would be like behind that.
I
would
guess the
be-
question is, are you outside?
Yeah,
Okay,
literally just
then-
outside meditating by that giant rock with the stuff scratched into it.
Then rather than opening the door, Rakat will actually walk up and
Yeah,
sit
that's-
directly across from Voss and mimic the pose that he's in for meditation.
Cool.
Rofi's just very awkwardly there, just doesn't know what to do.
There's just like none of those like very elvish pauses.
Yeah.
Finishing the thought. You'll see his eyes open and be like, yes.
We need to go shopping, and I need your help.
Okay. I'm just gonna stand up, start getting my shit.
As you stand up and start getting your shit, two Dimalfoot soldiers, led by a mage priest, walk over, and the mage priest literally does hold up a hand and basically casts a light for a short amount of time, which is kind of a basically the military police equivalent of flashing the police
It's
lights
it's
to get
when
you
the
to pull
teacher
over.
flashes the lights when the kids are rowdy in the classroom.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
Kids stop.
But
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know about that. But it definitely does do this.
As
And,
she does that, I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing. Like I'm still just kind of gathering all my stuff. Like I pick up my sword. I'm just basically strapping on my armor and stuff. And I'll just say to this group of people, like, servants of the Daimao, what can I do for you today?
I respect your tone, This building will be searched for contraband and illegal items that pose a danger to the city. Kind of just has a motion, and the 2-foot soldiers just march inside and start.
As they go up, do they stop and take their shoes off when they go into the
No!
dojo?
Of course not. They got, like, proper boots on.
Yeah.
So they don't.
Cool.
They just, like, step in. There's that
That's-
anime moment. Zooms in on the foot. Doom.
Yeah.
You see just a vein bulge.
I'm just again gonna continue what I'm doing. and
Noticeably,
stay- yeah.
they're a bit more respectful about this place as a dojo. There's not many things to knock over, but if you remember,
Yeah.
this place does have a second story, which I imagine it was cleared out of anything valuable.
It's
but-
pretty much just vacant right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So there's like one goes up there, pokes around, and you go back. When they come back after like 4 minutes or something, it doesn't take them much time, but it's semi-thorough. You see the mage priest kind of casting a spell around her in that kind of ivory light. The symbols appear around. And you see light kind of shine from inside the mask while this is happening. And just kind of like holds a hand up to each one of you.
Oh no.
Detecting magic, perhaps?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Uh,
things on me.
You would assume. And then we'll lower the hand and we'll say, "Peace be with you," and march off with the 2-foot troopers.
And also with you.
To the as the two guys kind of come out, I don't say anything to them. I just give them a look of like, like, but not even something where it's like a scowl, like a look that another samurai would recognize as being like a look.
These
of
aren't
disrespect.
even. These guys aren't and probably never will be samurai.
Oh, I was under the impression that these guys.
There
were
is
samurai.
so the way it works, there's not enough samurai to go around. So these are just
off on the side.
yeah, samurais kind of usually lead groups of these regular
Yeah,
foot troopers.
they're just
So
like
these
those-
are just they're like the guys in For Honor that run in the middle of the map and die.
Yeah, they're trash. Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, I still do that. I don't expect them to really realize why. But it's, like, not worth my time to even explain to them why they're trash. Is kind of the
Yeah.
thought process.
Did they not take off their shoes, Voss?
I'm like, even this beast knows proper procedure when in a...
It's a dojo. You take your shoes off. It's not that complicated.
For some simple minds, it is.
Barakath actually takes the Nodashi that you gave him last time off, and he's actually going to hand it to you, Voss, and present it to you, and just say,
I think this is not a good fit for me.
You know, I didn't want to be the one to have to
Yes,
tell you,
I know.
but
Sometimes I just like big shiny things. I'm sorry.
it's not that I can't train you to fight, but this weapon, I do not think is the weapon for you.
I was hoping you could help me buy some weapons today.
Actually, that's a good question. Do I have that giant order of stuff
Yeah!
arriving anytime soon?
It's coming in. It's not coming in all at once. You're just getting
Yeah.
stuff delivered by servants of the forge.
Yeah.
for clarity, what I'm looking for is I'm wanting to switch out my rapier for a short sword and a parrying dagger. So
Uh-huh.
that's the intention. That's what I'm going to be doing.
You're going off to a sorted weapon shop. and, buying
Yeah,
those
and I'll literally, like, yeah, and it's kind of one of those things where Voss will just, like, look you over, and it's like, so you have such long appendages.
All the better to hug you with, Voss.
But also all the better to stab your enemies with. You do not need a long-bladed weapon. you could probably benefit from some sort of defensive weapon in conjunction with a wakizashi, perhaps.
Yeah, you can go off,
We
have
can-
your little shopping spree,
Yes.
buying yourself some new weapons.
I also have a couple of things that I would like to pick up while we
Please
are
do.
shopping. And I'm going to put those in chat rather than taking up time, if that's okay with you. I've already looked them up in values and everything, if that's okay with you.
Okay. Did just a little shopping
need a-
montage.
Pearl.
You know how I am with these shopping
Yeah,
sprees.
yeah,
I
yeah.
need them for very specific things.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Considering you're doing a shopping montage, finding a pearl's not very difficult. It does take you longer because usually shops are with other shops, and those kind of commercial areas are very busy at the moment, both with people and that kind of quiet drought outrage, because actually being mad would be heresy. So there's a lot of you enter the shop to buy the pearl, and like someone's having a hushed conversation with the cashier that stops, and then they say it's a child, and it continues. Stuff like that.
Yay! Do I get to overhear anything because of that?
It's basically, yeah, what you'd hear. Whether Rofi would really care about it is that it's like, they broke into our house, they stole my mother's necklace, and she's fading. She couldn't defend herself, and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Unfortunately, yeah, I don't think that's anything Rofi would bring up, but damn.
Yeah.
Okay,
Buy a
so-
pearl. And the person's like, that's a lot of money for a little gentleman.
I have a lot of things I need to do with it. And stuffs in his bag and walks away.
Yeah.
He does he just expects him to understand. Clearly, you need this for
Yeah.
magics and detecting stuff. Like clearly,
So rambunctious.
Yeah. Anything else anyone wants to buy? Or do
That's
while you're on a
everything I
shopping
got.
trip? While you're on a shopping trip.
So,
6 silver.
question for you, Ollie. Sacks.
I actually have a thing for that.
Okay, I need sacks. I need cloth that I can, bind and gag with, that kind of thing, as well.
Tools! I need my tools!
Yes.
Fetish shit!
Don't worry about it.
I like to bind, I like to be bound! I need my tools! Sorry. I just love that section, as everyone does. I literally have a thing here about the fantasy cost for fairly mundane items, and my D&D section of my bookmarks is very bloated. And not everything is named, because that's not very good, but I found it! Sack. It's different types of clothing and how it would be expensive. If you want to get sackcloth breeches, that's 5 silver. Good know. It's 4 silver per corn sack.
Great. I will 4 silver per. Corn
There's
sack.
not here. So it's actually quite never mind. I was gonna say it's quite expensive, but the way it does it is quite interesting, and I actually like this idea. Depending on how the wealth of what you're trying to store inside, not really counting jewelry, but I suppose you'd get a higher quality thing for that. It costs a different amount. So a small cloth can only hold up to 50 gold of item, and that's 16 copper. A large cloth pouch can hold up to 300 gold, and that's 40 copper. Now, if you want that in leather, that'll cost a bit more. It can have better stuff.
You know what? I'd like a small leather one that can fit over someone's head, preferably.
That would be 75 gold, actually, to get... No. Read it. That would carry 75 gold is to 20 copper. It's written really awkwardly on this document.
How much is it?
20 copper.
20
So
copper.
2 silver.
Okay. Oh, my heart. Well, I'll take a couple of those leather ones then. I'll take 5, so I'll make it an even gold. 5 leather sacks. Up
You're
to
there, and
75.
Batana's
size.
like, oh, what are you intending with all these sacks? You starting a Tupperware business?
Oh, I do very much like Tupperware. Very
That's
good
far-
for storing things.
That's as far as that conversation really goes.
Mm-hmm.
Giving House Jarviskjir the best name in the markets. They're just very confused about what we're doing now.
Don't worry about it. Don't ask, don't tell. The motto of House Tabescos. Yeah. So I'd like to purchase those items, which is a mirror, a 4-foot tall one, if preferably, with ideally a nice frame.
This
Steel
is probably
mirror
on
is
this
totally
machine.
fine.
Mirror.
This one, it says it's 5 gold pieces in the player's handbook, but I'm okay with it being a bit more expensive because I'm asking for something that's a little taller than normal.
Yeah, for 4 feet tall. This doesn't have a. No, there's a system for it. You want a tall, thin one or a tall, wide one? So you want 4x1 or 4x2?
About a regular person's width, in terms of the width. So about like 1.5 to 2 feet wide and a 4 foot tall. Let's say a 2 foot wide and a 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
Mirror.
Now I have to do quick math.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Quick math.
Beep, 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 beep. 32 gold.
32 gold. Okay. So 32 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 35 gold. Perfect. And then I need to do math now. The other things is I want to get a short sword and a parrying dagger. So,
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, at some point we should probably send word to what's her name.
To who?
Literally, while you're doing this, I can go find her.
You
Captain
cannot go find her? Well, can you roll me a history check, Voss? Because you're probably one of the only people who'd think about this.
I sure can.
Oh!
So she works directly for the Daimao. These are like Daimao troopers that are traveling around. She would be one of them. But she is a samurai. So not only would she probably out here somewhere right now, but if you wanted to find her in regular situations, she would be up there in a Daimao's palace, which is basically its own district of the city built onto the roof of the cavern, which you really have no way of getting to without a way sanctioned by the Daimao. Really, you can only get there if you have really good reason to be there, either teleported in or with some sort of magical chariot or something of the sort, you know, or
Or a giant
spider,
Flying
bats, giant spider. Getting there is not easy. You're not meant to be there, so she might be out and about. But then there's a whole city probably being checked in, so trying to find a specific captain might be a bit hard. But you know, maybe you have an idea.
We can ask around.
I mean, we know.
If you want to do that, you can give me a persuasion or intimidate roll, because they're definitely not the most talkative army. Private militia.
We'll go with. Fuck it. We'll do intimidation just because it's funny. No.
It's very quickly where you like go up into one of the congregation's foot soldiers, and you see straight up sack. They take a amulet that noticeably has Aether crystal as the center gem, and put it in. And you see other Aether crystal in the sack. They close it. You go up. And you're like, I need to talk with Captain Kato, and you just hear a bow being tightened, and you look up, and on top of one of the buildings is just more of these soldiers with a bow, and a samurai just like, move along, sir. Like, just they give you no chance.
Yeah, as much as I would love to just suicide rush.
Give
these
you
guys
no
for
respect.
Yeah.
What you need to do is take the name and tell Captain Kato that they're the reason she missed this bust.
Actually, that's a good point. Maybe not with that specific group of guards. But that's a good one, because we should still, like, we have some time. We can try and look around for her, because, like, we know, I guess we would have no way of knowing which part of the city she
You tell me, Mr. Man. Do you have an idea where she would be?
Do I? No. But does the people who were actually there when we met her, maybe?
No, of course not. They're dum-dums.
We could try talking to Brother Dearest.
That's
Yeah,
probably
we
the
also
smartest
don't want
idea.
the whole city knowing that we're looking for her, but he might know, yeah.
Question for you, Ollie. How much is a parrying dagger?
Should say on the doco.
I didn't see it. I might be blind though. I will look
Yeah.
again. Now I've lost the page.
Excellent.
Yeah, you're gonna go to Jericho and ask
Yeah,
to contact her. He can do that. He'll basically get on the Sing Ring. If you remember, it's not a direct connection one between the houses. There's literally, it goes to an operator. He's like, I need to talk to the house of the Daimao, to a certain samurai, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, I will get the word out. Whether it actually gets to her with what's happening right now, well, we'll see.
That's all we can ask for.
What else do you want while William is shopping?
I mean, there was nothing else I really needed to do. What about you, Rofi?
I would set up, if we went back to the house at any point, I would set up and start doing my ritual to detect magic on this sword. That we have no idea. I mean, identify on this sword, sorry.
Identify. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm ritual casting using a preparation point as well, so I can do it. Identify.
So, identify doesn't really work on an object like this. You're going to get a lot of information, but Arcana Tech doesn't exactly work the same, and this is a strange item. You're aware it's some sort of Arcana Tech device that utilizes acid magic, quite similar to your glove. But you're not quite sure how to make it work. Usually an identify spell would allow you to basically people fold in either the mental energy of how something works or literal markers of how it works. This has deliberately not been done in this case, so you have no idea how this works. You manage to spend this time in this hour fiddling around with it a little bit, and I think I described it as it has basically 3 sections on the blade, and you can get one of them to work at a time, but not more than one.
How to get more than one?
So right now, it is a longsword that deals an extra D4 acid damage. If it actually worked properly, it would do a whole lot more than that.
Progress.
But it's noticeable because this is something Tanuma made. But because this was seemingly made by Tanuma 1 post-Sundering, it's almost unrecognizable. There's a, it's like, yeah, it's Tanuma's craft, but because it is off and different, it's one of the reasons why it shakes you so much.
Also, I forgot to describe what I would do for the identify. He would have had something pre-built. He would load the pearl into the middle of it, close it up, hook cords to each end of the sword, and then click something onto the side of his visor thing, and then just sit there staring at it for like the entire time, just like looking over the bits and pieces of it. And so that's what Rofi's doing.
And Voss is standing there, watching, babysitting.
Apparently, yeah.
He doesn't kill himself.
Pretty
It's an
much.
acid sword. He could. When you're on acid, you always need a trip sitter. Voss is a trip sitter. It's canon, because that was the last session.
That's true.
But yeah, you could activate a portion of this device's power right now, but not a whole lot of progress. Yeah. Oh, well, it would be noted because of the way it works, it wouldn't do slashing damage, it would do bludgeoning damage instead of slashing or piercing, whatever
That
a
makes
longsword
sense.
does. Yeah.
Okay, I'll write that down.
With that in mind, Rakath is actually going to give that to you as well, Rofi, and just say,
It seems like this would be a better fit for you while I'm working on getting weapons that are better fit for me.
Okay, thank you. I will get this to work.
I believe in you.
It will happen. Actually, the other thing I would do while waiting is I would also spend a prep point to make, because it's still long rest, to make Voss's weapon magical. Let me get the name of which one that is.
Is that Improvomancy?
I believe it is. Yes, it is. Boop.
Mm-hmm.
So he once again straps that device onto the base of your weapon, and it's ready to go.
You just like take it off and like wind it up, basically.
Actually, yeah, because it would still be on it.
Where
So,
I
yeah,
like to
yeah.
imagine that after the end of the day, it like fell off.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
pops.
Yeah.
It's like a little
Yeah,
confetti bomb
exactly.
at the end of the day.
I like that better, actually. Yeah. Straps another one onto it. Okay.
So we've kind of put the word out to this captain, so if she shows up, great.
Yep.
If not,
Is William done with shopping? Yeah. I mean, she asked explicitly to let the word out. You don't know whether this would even be as much, like, whether this is the big bust she really cares about. She did explicitly say, like, when we're doing the big one, I want to be there, but keep me in the loop all the while. You've at least done your bit in the honor here, right? So.
we've done our due diligence.
I have a question for you, Ollie. It's around the void glass. So the vat that I have set up right now, I was able to acquire a bit of void glass out of that, which is void crystal, I assume, but we're calling it void glass for the moment, just for, because that's what it looks like.
It looks like glass, acts like glass.
Must be glass. Anyways, the vat, is there still viscous liquid in there?
Not so much. At this point, it's really just whatever would have been happening from brewing a brain,
Yes.
It's
there
nothing.
would be,
So there's
some
stuff in there. It's just not magical stuff.
I don't need it to be magical stuff. I need it to be bloody stuff that looks kind of black and goopy. Does it do that? Does it look black and goopy?
At this point, it would probably be black and goopy.
Good. That's all I need. I'm going to be painting that onto the mirror.
Okay.
I need to get a sheet. I'll just get Nero to bring me a sheet. That's okay.
Nero's comes down and you're like with like a brush from the kitchen that's used to paint meat. Or something.
Brush.
Yeah.
It's a basting brush.
Because you didn't buy a brush.
No.
We
You
had
ain't got
one in
one.
the house. Why would I buy it?
Oh dear, the chef is going to be most displeased. This sheet does need to be. It's Master Jericho's spare bed sheet. It is.
We'll need a different sheet. One that doesn't need to be returned.
Well, we have a rotation. All of them are necessary.
We might need to buy another sheet.
I can go out and require another.
How much do you require to do so?
Bed sheets aren't on this document. What are you doing?
I imagine not.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm giving you all of these things.
Well, this is why it's useful I have this website.
Yeah.
Parchment? I don't need parchment sheets. I don't know. Well, I imagine if you don't really care about quality, you could probably get one for like a silver.
I will. Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. He'll go out. You'd give him a silver. He'll go out and
Great.
come back with a off-white sheet.
Perfect. I need it to be shitty and kind of like a little bit see-through, but not,
Yeah.
you know.
A cheap one is better than a fancy one. Well, ironically, a cheap one is see-through and a fancy one is see-through, but you get kind of middle and around, you get opaque.
Exactly. It's a different kind of see-through.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Great. Once the mirror dries, I'm going to drape the bedsheet over it.
Okay. Looks like a spooky ghost.
Yeah. But putting it... So, in the dungeon, that I have like this kind of chair set up in the center for my business. Not that kind of business. Don't get the wrong idea. It's not a...
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, I know, but I realized what I said halfway through it, so I needed to clarify.
You're a torturer. We know what your business is.
Okay, for torturing. And I want to set it up directly across from that, if possible.
Okay.
Covered. Just so that, like, someone looking at, like, you know, someone sitting in the chair would be able to see that. Yeah.
You got a sheet there. What are you doing?
Oh, it's a sheet with see-through black gunk underneath it.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
That's set up. By now, you know, it's starting to get pretty late in the cycle. You imagine, you know, degenerate drug deals usually happen near the end of the day. You imagine they're probably going to come in the next few hours. Where are you guys going to be, and what kind of prep do you want to do? They know they have the door to the basement. They're going to come into the basement if possible, or at least knock there.
Yes. Well, the door to the basement will be locked.
Yeah.
But they'll have to knock, because I'm not letting them, you know, in that easily. Come on now, I've got things going on. I am going to be essentially just prepping the room for a visitor. Yeah.
Because that's the thing, it's like we want to invite them inside.
Yes.
So we can do the deal, and then that's when they done fucked up.
And that's when you bash them on the back of the head and cut off their hands.
I mean, what I'm going to be doing is literally sitting or standing, leaning against the wall beside the door. So as soon as they come through, like on the side that the door would open towards, so as soon as they
There's not really enough room for a big man like... The door to the dungeon is a very small door. Rakath has to squeeze through it.
You will have to open the door, Voss.
That's fine.
Yeah. So you're going to have to open a door and then step back to even let them
I'm
in.
near the door.
Yeah. You're near.
Yeah.
Door adjacent, but not really.
I'm going to actually be trying to make the dungeon, like, look presentable, as though it's not covered in viscous blood and nonsense. Because that's what it normally is.
Yes.
I should probably get rid of that dead dwarf corpse that's definitely just still on the table in the corner. The bloated one with all the water. From underneath. Yeah, that's definitely just
throw him over the side of the tower.
No, we have a method for getting rid of these things.
That'll get you a littering fine.
Yeah, you don't need that 500 gold fine.
There's a lot of police around right now.
Look, this is not the time to be dumping a dwarf body. They won't care about the body itself. It's just the mess on the street. No, I'm gonna put, like, I don't know. I have, like, you know, a decent amount of space that I can put him down.
You can put him in a cell. You can put him in your little storeroom.
That's what I'm thinking about, putting him in a cell.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying, Ollie. I'm doing the kid thing where you clean up your room by shoving everything under the bed.
Yeah, kid thing.
All right, fair enough.
I don't even shove things under my bed anymore. I just shove them somewhere else.
So I think the idea here is that basically as soon as the courier arrives, we're going to pull the courier inside. Basically, you know, Voss is going to, like, shuffle them in to make it look less, you know, hey, get off the street, what are you doing? You know, we're doing a drug deal here, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
And then we're going to bash their skull a little bit.
Huh.
Put a sack over their head.
You did buy a sack.
I bought a sack for this very reason.
He did.
Actually, Voss, do you want to hold on to one of those sacks so you can blind them right away by popping that over their head?
You know, honestly, that sack can go on after they've hit the floor.
All right. Well, you know.
How
Fair.
large is this room? Like, what's the longest distance from the door in this room?
You know what? I can show you.
Hey.
I've been waiting for this my entire life.
Yes.
I actually changed the layout on this map because the more and more I described the dungeons, it's changed in my mind more and more. But here you are. It's actually quite a sizable space. You know, that's a 20 feet core chamber.
Yeah.
So the door is over here?
Yeah, that's the way out. This is the way upstairs.
I was like, I can't see anything.
I will sit here then.
You're in the darkness. There's only one light, and it's in the room, not the way out, because you don't even use that door very
that
often.
works for me.
Yeah.
I like the darkness.
I'm also going to add a little bit of feng shui.
Ooh. Was that chair there before? I don't think that chair was there before.
Oh,
You described as a chair in the middle of the room.
Yeah. No, I love it. I'm glad to
So
see it.
this where I am right now is the door
shit.
to come in, right?
What is that? Oh, that was weird.
There's some blood. There you go.
Perfect.
Blood tile. Yes.
Really someone to clean that up at some
This
point.
way is the door in and out. Voss, you know what? You can even take a little cheeky peeky outside because it's just, you know, it's just outside. It's just a street. Nothing weird would be going on at all, right?
Right.
It's a short area. There is a railing off the edge here. This is 3 wide. I know I've broken my cardinal rule, but it just looks nicer being 3 wide and makes more sense being 3 wide. There's a railing on the edge of these walkways, but like most of Narashiro, that railing ain't gonna do shit. Don't jump off, Ross. You got so much to live for. You could easily topple someone off the edge, and your house is up that way, and you know, off. There's other directions and things like that.
This is real cool.
Okay, cool.
Look, I knew you would start a fight in the house one day.
It was,
Okay.
It was literally just a matter of time.
Yeah. So I at least had most of this ready. I just had to change because this is why I rarely make proper detailed maps, because my view of places changes. So this is what we're sitting with. If you
So
actually
now this
remember,
is-
the cells were on the other side. This is canon for now.
Until we build it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Or die.
Or
I'm
die.
literally gonna answer the door and usher them in, and then just stand here is my plan.
Okay.
I will be like here, I guess.
There's your little your table.
Yeah, I'll be like, you know,
Set ready to put the drugs down on the table.
I'm gonna actually like take out some of my torturer's tools, specifically ones that would be like pliers, things that would be also used for inspecting things as well.
Sure.
Essentially. So trying to make them feel a little more at ease with what tools are out on the table, and the rest will be in my leather satchel with it, and, you know, hold on to that.
I would also just like to set the precedent that the first one of them I see, I am going to be focusing on it with the mask thing.
Okay.
Before shit even hits the fan, which
Well,
I
you know
will pay
what?
for the benefit of Chad.
This is the backpack. I've set my backpack down.
Okay, that's a good idea. We are going to assume that nothing at all is going to go wrong with your drug deal and sting operation, but we're going to take a little break beforehand, mostly because I set these cameras up for the battle map a while ago, and everyone's moved like 500% since then, so let me make that way less jank while I'm on break.
Hey.
Talk about no respect. Moving around. Ruining my cameras.